Here to talk about the next section. I'm sure a lot of us are struggling removing the original ball joints from the SH Monster Arts, including myself. I realized how painful it was, and you do actually need some type of equipment for that. Otherwise, you're gonna end up hurting yourself, your hands. The way set it up is you only get the extra neck pieces, as you see right here, and those are supposed to attach to the original ball joints that are found on the Monster Arts. The problem is it's very painful. It's a process that I honestly got stressed from, and I think most of us will end up just giving up because some pieces are almost impossible to remove. So I got a request that people want me to create my own articulated system, my own ball joints, socket, whatever you name it, okay? So I do understand the struggle, and I've been working on them for quite some time, and this is what I created. A lot of people wanted something similar where it has the same movement as Monster Arts, something that attaches, that has snake-like movement. I understand that. And they would attach like this. You have to hear that little pop. That's how you know it's secure for the ball joint or socket and ball joint to be ready for movement, okay? So this is one of the things that I've made, and of course it wasn't easy. I had to do lots of testing, lots of failures, including this one for the tip. The reason why I've made this because Seto made this piece, right? This piece is supposed to attach to the main head. That way you have articulation with the head. And I've also noticed it's very painful. And the main thing is we have to make it easier for customers. Instead of hurting your fingers, your hands, making it painful for you, I thought it would be easier to have this, but nah, I've also removed this. I don't think it's a good system. So ultimately, throughout different testings of different sizes of ball joints, the problem with the smaller ones like this one was whenever you would attach the pieces, like the neck sections, it was way too tight and literally prevented no articulation from happening, so it would be so tight you couldn't move them. The other problem with the longer versions was they were too separated where all pieces would move like crazy and it would look very awkward and not great at all, okay? So I came up with this system right here. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but one of them should be longer, one of them should be a little bit smaller. Now the smaller version is supposed to attach to the lower section of the neck, like around here, because that's how it works for that section right there. Lower sections are going to use the smaller height of the ball joint and socket. The longer version is for the upper side of the neck pieces. The neck pieces, I've noticed if you have them way too tight, it literally has no articulation. That's why you're going to get two different sizes. The smaller one for the lower section, the bigger and longer one for the top section for the articulation to work properly. And this will be ultimately a part of a new package. Everything is going to get reorganized in my own way. It's going to be much cheaper as well for customers. No longer are the old prices going to be available. You're going to receive new prices, and the quality is going to be bumped up from 4K all the way to 12K. And with new pieces coming, those announcements will happen later on. Not only are you finally going to get your own sockets and ball joints for the neck pieces, but you're also going to get better quality, and you're also going to get brand new heads. Those heads will be part of a different edition. Ultimately, I want to make it a lot smoother and better for customers. Those additions will also include the wyvern wings, aka Ghidorah wings, different from others. Now that's going to be a whole separate pre-order thing. The idea here is to create the ultimate pre-order edition for Ghidorah, the way that I've always envisioned it from the start, but it wasn't really possible due to me not learning how to properly print, not having a printer, not having the files, and also because I didn't know how to sculpt back in the day. but now that has changed, so I want to really offer the Ultimate Edition, because Ghidorah for me is one of my favorite all-time MonsterVerse monsters, and I really love this. I do understand that obviously most people are going to purchase the Hayatoys version, I get it, but my prediction is looking at the wings. Don't get me wrong, they look great, but they don't look accurate, and it still doesn't look fully smooth. The way that you have those wings piling up against each other doesn't look right. It doesn't look like the full version, and I get it, you know, they were trying to give you 2 for 1. The wings spread out like the original monster art, and also have them in the wyvern walking pose. I get it, but they don't work. The way I see it, even if they have articulation or don't have articulation, and they only transform to give you both versions, they still look awkward. And my main goal here is to give you wings that look properly like wyvern wings, like a dragon actually walking, and there's going to be 2 different versions available for people that want different wings. Now, I'm going to show you a demonstration of the articulation, but keep in mind the heads that I have right now are only a test. They are not the right size for the ball joint that is in place, so it could fall, but here's a demonstration of what it's supposed to do. And you guys can see that it can even do new poses that the original one couldn't even do. If we compare this one doesn't fully have the same type of pose that you see on this one. And you guys can see how it moves. I'm gonna place it down so you guys can get an idea of the articulation. Now, the articulation that you see right now is with the ball joints already installed, and obviously they're gonna wear off because it's made out of resin. It's only natural for them to become loose over time, but still the idea is to give you guys the ball joints and these sockets to make it a lot easier. And it's really up to you guys what you guys do with them and how you create them. The necks are meant to be thick, going thinner as you go up. They're meant to be accurate to the original film comparison. I know it might be hard to see, but the Monster Arts necks are fully the same size. They're all thick, even to the tip of the neck section, aka head section right here. If you compare our brand new version, they start off thick, becoming slightly thinner, and they're also a little bit taller compared to the original Monster Art. So you are going to get slightly longer necks, give you a better representation of the snake like a dragon from Monster Arts. And I know there's going to be comparisons with the Hayatoys. Do you think that variety can exist within everything? You know, you can have the Monster Arts, you can have the Haya, and you can have this version that's going to have its own wings, its own ball joints, its own necks, and future heads that I will be announcing later on. So overall, it's going to be almost like a brand new figure, and you do have the options to switch between your original and the wyvern type of wings. Again, no articulation, because I really don't think articulation could do much for that type of pose unless you use like bamboo wire and other things. I think with such heavy wings, over time articulation is going to wear off and it's going to become extremely loose, something like we saw with the Destroyer. The ultimate idea here is to give you a process that's a lot easier for customers to assemble the figure and to give you a much completed figure with brand new necks, brand new head sculptures. Each head is supposed to look individually different, from normal faces to angry faces, and give you the gravity beams. Not only that, but give you guys the regenerating heads, the regenerating pieces, and also give you extra pieces like the ball joints, the sockets to complete your set. On top of that, new wings will be added to give you a full-on Ghidorah Ultimate set. I know there's plenty of wings out there from other creators, but I like to think that there is variety and chances for opportunities for other people to have something different and unique on their hands in their collection to enjoy. And it's always good to explore and to experience new things with other products. I encourage you guys to check it out and let me know your thoughts.